Alrighty, it is 8:17 p.m. and today I'm starting edit 7 and I'm just now getting around to it. So I figured I would go ahead and explain edit 7 to you. I have done a Google Translate edit before, but I never explained it in super great detail, I think. I haven't edited that video, so I don't 100% remember what all I talked about in it, but I don't think I showed a lot. I don't remember. But either way, as per usual, I have my sticky note already set up so that way I can keep track of chapters and where I am and where I leave off and so on and so forth. So for me, there are two ways to do this edit. You can actually do it through Google Translate, or the other way is I email the chapters to myself on my iPad, and I use the iPad's text-to-speech function to listen to it that way. I will show you both. So I would suggest that if you use Google Translate to not copy a whole chapter in at once, because you can't pause it. I don't think you can on the mobile app. I honestly don't think you can do it on the mobile app because I think it's too much text. But on the desktop, internet browser version, I know that you cannot pause it. So I usually copy a couple paragraphs when I do it through there. So I'm going to copy the first one of the prologue and then open up a new tab, which will be Translate. If you use Google as your search engine, that's literally all you have to type in is Translate, and it will pop up at the top of the thing. It wants me to translate from Dutch to English, which is weird since I've never used Dutch, but I'm going to change it to English for obvious reasons. And then you just paste your text in there, and then down at the bottom there is a listen button, and that's what you're going to click. I don't know how loud my volume is, so I'm going to turn it down in preparation, and then we'll see.
Prologue is entirely unavoidable, entirely inevitable. While some choose to take death into their own hands and choose to take away their life on their own time.
So then when you unclick listen, it stops, but then I'm pretty sure when you press it again, unless they've updated it, it starts at the beginning.
Prologue is in.
Yep. So if you are planning on sitting down for the entire chapter, go ahead and copy the whole thing into Translate and sit down the whole time. But otherwise, you'll have to repaste the new parts every time. So that, in combination with Google Translate's voice, I now use it on my iPad instead. It didn't used to bother me, but the voice definitely bothers me now. So I'm going to switch to recording on my phone, just so that way I can show you what it sounds like on my iPad, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so for here, I have already emailed the prologue up through chapter 4 to myself on my iPad. So on the computer, I go back to the Google Docs and I open it, so that way the prologue is the first thing open. And then for me, so I can keep track of it for you guys, I click on the edit button on Google Docs and I click on suggesting. So that way any changes I make are suggestions, and then I can tell you how many changes I made during this edit. Hopefully at this point it shouldn't be too many, but we'll see. So on the iPad, I don't know if this is the same for newer iPads. Mine is from when I was in 9th grade, so whatever year that would have been is when this iPad mini is from. But to start the function, if I can get my screen to behave, we'll see if I can do it on the first try. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. You come up here. I've got it in my email. You can also copy and paste it into notes or anything like that, but I'm just not going to. It should just be 2 fingers. Oops. 2 fingers.
It's entirely unavoidable, entirely inevitable, while some choose to take death into their own hands and choose to take away their life on their own time.
You can pause it, which is very helpful. And then also, you can control the speed with the little buttons up there. So
the majority of people aren't control of the overarching process or the outcome. They don't know how or when they'll die. They die. They don't know if they'll be alone when.
And then when it's done reading through, this will just disappear, but you can also click off of it at any time, and you can go backwards at any time. So that's all very helpful. But that is what I'm going to do. I don't know how many chapters I'm going to edit today. I'm going to start with the prologue, and because of the time of today, that might be the only thing I get into, and then I'll move back onto writing and I'll get to chapter 1 and stuff tomorrow. But either way, I will give you guys an update once I get through the prologue, which shouldn't take too long. Alrighty, the prologue is edited. That is 296 words, and I'm going to put that into my app on the edit count, as per usual. That comes in here all nice and stuff. I've already met my goal, so you can ignore how many I need today. That's just because you can't change it without also updating the overall goal, and I'm not going to do that. So then the only other thing I have to do is come over here on my sticky note and mark off prologue, and then I always put a little line to show that that was day 1. Not because it's the number 1, but to separate this one from all of the others. So that's it for today. I'm going to get back into writing. I have a book that I'm attempting to finish before the end of the month, and then I will see you guys tomorrow for, at the very least, chapter 1. Hey guys, it is currently 5:27 in the morning on August 30th, and I've only edited once, I think, since I saw you last, but I haven't updated you on that, so we're going to do that. Tuesday? Wednesday. I edited 1,500 words, and that was super late. I edited it I put the count in at 1:21 p.m., so, that's the main reason you didn't get an update. And then yesterday, Mom and I went shopping, so I didn't give you an update then, and I didn't do any editing then. So today, I am working on a ton of writing. The plan is to get 10,000 words in today and 10,000 words in tomorrow for a writing goal unrelated to Man of Darkness. So we'll see if I can get some editing in. The hope is that I can, but it just depends. And I can always make up for the editing later. But regardless, if I get to it today, I will see you at some point for an update, but if not, I'll see you whenever I get around to editing. But I just wanted to make sure that I updated you on Wednesday before I forgot. I only edited one chapter. It was chapter 1, and I made 3 corrections. I know 2 of those were swapping 2 parts of a sentence. There's a section where Miles calls the character Greg, which is his name. That's not the part that's the problem. But then the next sentence starts immediately with Greg. So it was, go through there, Greg, or you can do that, Greg, or whatever. And then Greg. So when my iPad was reading it out loud, she was just like, Greg, Greg. And I was like, okay, there is a period there, but regardless, it still sounds weird. So I switched it to Greg there, where Miles was talking, and then the man, and then in the sentence right after it, Greg was used, or sorry, the man was used. So I changed that one to Greg, so that way it wasn't a repetition of the sentence directly before it. I think those are the 3 changes I made, so hooray. But I'm going to get back to writing, and again, if I get to editing today, I'll update you, and if not, I will see you the next time I may get back around to editing. Hey guys, it is currently 3:54 in the morning on September 1st, and I just got back around to working on editing Man of Darkness. It's the first day of a new month, so all of my stuff here is reset, like my edit count and all of that. It won't focus unless I click the screen on my tablet, but my other hand is holding something, so. But today I edited chapters 2, 3, and 4 to make up for the 2 days that I didn't edit at the end of August there, and then today. So they're marked off here, and I haven't put a line to end the day, just in case I come back around and do more editing. I would like to finish editing this book this week, which means Sunday to Saturday, and then the week after I would be formatting for Edit 8, and then the week after the format I would be doing Edit 8. So all of that stuff will be stuff that you see too in this series, but we'll see how things go. So this morning I edited 5,682 words in Man of Darkness, and I made one more correction, or change. I can't remember what it was, but I know that it felt necessary. Oh, I know. Anna, she is my Justice character. Again, Miles is a rebirth. He lives in hell. There's fate Justice, there's a whole bunch of demons, Lucifer, fallen angels, stuff like that. They're all in there, but Miles is still the main focus. But Anna is his best friend in hell, about the only friend that he really genuinely has. As far as he's concerned, she's the only person that actually cares about his existence. And she calls him Honey when she's not calling him Miles. A lot of the other characters have nicknames for him. Lucifer calls him Little Reaper, so does Augie occasionally, and she also calls him Les, I think. Miles, she just calls him Les, the L-E-S at the end. But Anna calls him either Miles or Honey. There's like no variation there. Potentially also actually, M-I. But I think it's primarily Honey and Miles. But there was one part where she said it right here, and then there was Miles's dialogue, and then right here. So I changed the second one to Miles instead, so that way it didn't seem so in your face. It doesn't look weird reading it, but it sounds weird reading it out loud, which, again, drives home the point. Very important to do both. You do want to see what it looks like on page, and you do want to see what it looks like, or what it sounds like, when read aloud. Whether it be your voice, or a robot, or both. Depends on what you can make work. If I were to read the whole book aloud in a week, my jaw would be murder, to say the least. And I like to do my edits in a week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on what kind of schedule I'm on. But that's all I've done today. I have 4 corrections that I've made altogether so far on the book. Things are still going well. I'm still happy with the way things are going. A lot of the errors have already been fixed. A lot of the continuancy errors have been fixed. I'm still keeping an eye out in hopes that I can catch any others if there are more mistakes when it comes to continuity. It's a word. It's one of them, I think. I don't know. But I'm doing my best, but regardless of that, I'm very happy with the way the book is coming along so far. So at this point, I'm moving on to writing, and if I come back around to Man of Darkness today, I will see you with another update, and if not, I will see you, hopefully, tomorrow. Hey guys, it is currently 7:40 p.m. on September 4th, and although I haven't updated you in a little bit, I don't remember when I updated you last, I have still been editing every day this month, so it's day 4. I've edited all 4 days this month so far. So just because I don't remember for certain when the last time I updated you was, Sunday I edited 5,682, Monday 5,396, Tuesday 2,170, and today 4,386. I have edited up through chapter 11 so far. There. And altogether I have made 8 corrections. I actually caught one today while listening to my iPad read it that was, whatever it was, one of the words didn't have a Y on it, whether it was actual and it should have been actually or what, but I didn't catch it by myself. Grammarly didn't catch it, but when she said it out loud while she was reading it, I was like, that's not right. So again, very important to listen to it as well. And I prefer this because I can still read a sentence out loud as long as I've written it, and my brain will fix the mistakes, so I still miss it sometimes. Not all the time, but generally. And that's why I also do something else reading it to me. I think both are important in the grand scheme of things. But again, 8 changes so far. I would like to have this edit done on Saturday night, so editing 3 to 4 chapters a day in hopes of finishing it closer to Friday, but it's okay if it's Saturday. Saturday is still 100% on track. That's still the original date that I had set for it. But after I'm done with this edit, I also need to go through and correct the M dashes and N dashes, because there are still a few M dashes that haven't been changed yet, so they're still double hyphens at the moment, because Google Docs doesn't make it super easy to put them in. You have to go up to insert, add special characters, and then you have to search for M dash, and there's no shortcut on Android for it. There is on new Android devices. I do not have a new Android device. My phone turned 3 years old today, based on the text I got from US Cellular. and it's an old version of Android, and the version on my tablet is an even older version of Android. So neither of them have an N dash or M dash. It has neither one. My iPad does, but I don't type on Google Docs super often on my iPad because same case. It's an older iPad, so there are new updates that I can't get. And a lot of those updates involve Google Docs and improvements to Google Docs, so it's very unstable on my iPad. Sometimes I can get it to work for at least, you know, a little bit, and other times I can't at all. So I just deal with it, do the double dashes, and then when I'm editing, I find and replace the double dashes, and then I go through all of the normal hyphens and see which one of those needs to be an N dash. So once I'm done with this edit, that's the other thing that I'll do before I work on formatting the book on Word, which again is all stuff that we'll get into eventually. But I have more stuff to do today, not editing stuff, so thankfully I don't have to talk about it for 4 hours. But I'm busy for the rest of the night, and then hopefully I'll get around to editing tomorrow as well, and hopefully I'll see you with an update tomorrow, but honestly it depends on a lot of factors. When the editing takes place, how worried I am about my dog. He's been acting a little weird, well, for almost the last 24 hours, but he did eat something today, so that's something. But regardless, I'll update you again at some point. I just can't promise that it will be the next time that I edit, so still doing enough to keep you updated and keep the series together and make sure that things are understandable and that you get an idea of what kind of things are happening during the edits. So that's all I have, and I will see you guys at some point. Hey guys, I apologize in advance for the camera and probably audio quality, but my iPad is busy uploading videos to Google Photos, so I have to record on my phone at the moment. It is 6:37 p.m. on September 7th, and I just finished the main part of Edit 7 of Man of Darkness. I made 17 corrections in total so far, and at the moment I'm sitting at 32,902 words. But at this point I'm going to go through with the find and replace function and search for the double hyphens and the singular hyphens to replace them with M dashes and N dashes in their appropriate places. And then I will give you an update on stuff from there. I did also edit on September 5th and September 6th. I just didn't give you an update those days, but I edited 3 chapters both of those days, and then I edited the last 4 today. And apparently made 2 corrections today, which I feel like I made more than that. But according to the number here, that's how many I made. But I have noticed recently that Google Docs only sort of shows me the correct number, so it's very possible that I made more than that. We'll see once the M dash and N dash thing is over. But I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I'll give you an update, and then we will go from there on what else I might do today. Alrighty, so I ended up making 4 more changes, so total for Edit 7 I made 21 changes. 3 of them were M dashes and only 1 was an N dash, so those are the only ones that I added since one of the earlier edits. I don't know when I changed them the first time, but they would have been added when I added new scenes and extended dialogue and stuff like that. But now I'm going to go through and accept the suggestions, and then on my little sticky note I'll write down what edit it was, what I did during the edit, how many words changed, and then I will also write it on here, which you can sort of see that, but it's a list of the things I've edited this year. I'll add that to here, and then I will come back and show you, and we'll go from there. Might do some formatting today, so we'll see. Alrighty. Apologies for the rain that you can probably hear. It seems to get louder every time that I get ready to record. I ended up with 32,890 words, which was 16 more than before? Yeah, 16 more words than before. So not too many changes, which is good. Things are still going well in the book, and I'm still happy with the way things are going. Oops. I've also got it written down here as thing number 21 for the year. So I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to go through the Word document of one of my other books to check the formatting stuff before I show that to you, because I'm going to make this one from scratch just so that way you guys can see it. And I'm also going to test out a few things to see if I want this book to be the same size as my other books or if I want it to be slightly smaller, so that way, although it will still be the same amount of words, it will look slightly thicker without messing with the formatting of the book. And I don't really care about the size of the book, it's just so that way it doesn't look super thin. It's a novella, so that's okay, its length is fine. I just don't want it to look ridiculous next to my other books. So I'm going to go through and see how many pages it is on Word, and we'll go from there. But I need to look at some formatting stuff first on my other docs, and then I'll see you again.